Good evening and welcome back to the St. Petersburg By Night podcasting network. Tonight, we present to you our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Bloody Strings.
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of, I guess we'll keep calling it Bloody Strings for now, until another name has been settled on. But the second story of this particular coterie. Last we left off, they were kind of having a meeting with Edwin Kane after a couple of little interactions that they had. Meeting with each other, or a meeting with Mr. Hodges. Edwin brought them some information. First, having earned Edwin as a mullah after the events with Benjamin, they were given a task to steal something. A bust of the former Prince Isabel, from a Viktor Adams. After they had that exchange, there was a discussion about where they would go next. And then they ended the session there. We'll be picking up the following evening. We are going to follow Bellatrix. What are we doing this evening? Bellatrix and Nick.
Bellatrix would be going to the Coterie Haven, which is Nick's apartment at the moment, and knocking on the door all politely.
You'll hear from a bit more of a distance as Nick's on the balcony having a cigar. Come in.
She'll come in.
Oh, hey Bella, what's up?
You're actually listening to him.
Yeah, I appreciate art too.
I guess I was wrong about that. Anyway, so...
He just gives a flat stare.
You were talking about Mr. Hodges visiting your cigar store.
Yeah, it was quite weird, honestly. Especially considering I kind of want that business. But, yeah, I don't know what that was up. He just picked up a package and left. They seemed friendly with the owner.
Are you interested in it?
I mean, yeah, I don't trust Hodges as far as I can throw him.
I've been watching him for a
Well,
while.
there's also
Or
the
his
fact
house.
That, no. Well, there's also the fact that he was literally almost right next to Elysium as non-Camarilla. But what have you found out so far?
Mostly watching his house, seeing who comes to visit. So, there's one interesting one, right? This man in the black sedan comes. And he goes in the house. And then there's the sound of braking. And then the man comes out missing an arm and gets in his car and drives off.
Oh, I mean, the Hodges problem might be taken care of already, but I mean, were you able to find out if, like anything more?
She'll pull out a piece of paper. I got the license plate number. You can find out who it is.
Badly. You know what? Bring it out here. Could you grab my laptop from the table over there for me?
Sure. I'll hand the paper and then hop up and grab the laptop, bounce in her step.
Alrighty. Yes, Storyteller. Could be to make a roll.
So you are going to try to find out information about the owner of the vehicle. How are you going to go about doing it?
Well, I would say, we were able to connect to the police database when we handled the coroner, right? If I remember correctly.
I do believe you guys placed a flash drive that gave you access to not necessarily a grander database, but you were able to tap into the internet of the facility you were in.
Well, then you'd start with looking for, see if that back door is still there through the system, just from a far, like through Wi-Fi. See if you can use the kernel pack, if it's still there, as long as because he knows the WAP of the facility, and since the sheriff's computer was there, maybe that's a way in. If you want to make it more difficult because it's a roundabout way, but that could be an in. There's also, I know there's sites that can. No, there's. It's like I'm trying to find a middle ground between. You know.
I guess my question is: this more of you just trying to use legal, accessible means to try to find out information, or are you trying to break into something by some means to gather that information?
No, you know what? He dislikes Hodges enough to try to find a non-legal means.
Then you can give me wits and tech.
Okay. Sorry for the delay there. I was just trying to think.
No worries at all.
And since this is information, am I not allowed to blood search?
You can blood search if you want.
Okay.
Roll all the rest checks you like.
Yeah, he does get hungrier for once. That's 5 successes.
So that, yeah, you find that you still can gain the access into that police department. You don't find much, but you will get a name. Let's see here. That belongs to it. That vehicle is in the possession of an Albert Shore. Shore.
Nick will look up from his laptop. Well, it seems that the individual, it's registered to an Albert Shore. I don't know if that's a mask or not, but
I will say you find that their residence, that it doesn't give you an exact address, but it's the information you can get. They live in Palm Harbor. They've had a residence there for a little over a year or two. They have their own business. They run a retirement home. Beyond that, they've got a pretty squeaky clean situation. No criminal history or anything else that you're able to get from what they have on file here.
as he sees that, when he looks, it looks like he owns a retirement home. It'd take more time as I don't have anyone specifically called, but I could probably start asking questions at my work. But I can't guarantee anything more than that.
Okay. I mean, if you want to know about him, and I want to know about him, because he was spying.
Sounds like he was doing more than spying if he lost an arm.
Sounds like we should work together.
I suppose.
I find out things, and I share them with you. You find out things and share them with me, and we don't tell Grei.
So,
This is going to be an excellent union. And she'll skip off and leave.
After Bellatrix leaves, Nicholas, is there anything else you would like to do before I move on to the next scene?
You would call Alex over. Hey, buddy. I was looking at something. He's got Central Cigar pulled up. It's like, how often I like going over there. Mostly with Grei. I'm looking at some options to acquire it, but capital breeds capital. But I don't want to ask you for yours. But my only other option would be Grei on that. But I want your opinion, since you come with me there pretty often.
What is it that you want my opinion on exactly?
Well, if I pull this trigger, to acquire it, both use their storage, which would be perfect as a place for me to settle down for the night, and also start making capital off their business while having a place that we could just enjoy ourselves instead of all this. but if it's have a chance, we might need to use your funds. But I would not, I wouldn't demand them of you. I would just want your opinion on that idea.
I mean, if you feel like this is something worth doing, then you have my support in doing that.
Because clearly Hodge is interested in the place, which makes it a double bit. There, we could fuck him over. If I can do this without being in any sort of debt to any of the others, great. But I also just, if it fails, I don't want to use your money and use it.
Why are you interested in this Malkavian so much?
Well, you remember the night we went over to that you drove us over to the area at the neutral zone? Not long after we kind of got the group together. When I was in there, I got a sense of death, heavy death. And then when I was in there, he tried to fuck with my mind.
Unprovoked?
Nick would kind of look to the side. Yes and no. Yes and no. It's just, I was asking questions, but not to the point of that. Like a lot of things shades of gray, but on top of that, he's connected to a legitimate serial killer that he sent to the Kyrie territory. You remember me telling you about Grim?
Sure.
Yeah, and out of game. That was a sire, right? Hodges was Grim's sire.
Yes.
Yeah. He made Grim. The other serial killer. And he's come down here, just south of us, when he shouldn't. And I'd like to fuck him over, while also getting something good out of it.
He signs again. I can't tell you not to play with fire, if this is what you feel like you gotta do.
Well, there's also, there might not be anything to it, like really, and it's just a place that you and I can enjoy ourselves. It's like, I remember you telling me how in your squad would enjoy a cigar before a mission, and I figured, that exactly, I like it as well. It's just an added bonus. And he's kind of taught. I
don't think there's an issue with getting. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're just saying he's clearly talking to himself in circles.
So I don't think there's an issue with getting the business. I don't understand why you want to antagonize. If he did sire a serial killer, and he does have the ability to fuck with your head, I don't understand why antagonizing this guy seems like a good call. But if you feel something's fucked up about him, then maybe in doing this you'll find out what that is.
Well, no, you have a point. I'm getting lost in my righteousness again. But I'll consider it. You're right. I should think hard about this. I do want the business. I'll let you know. But as always, thank you for your opinion. It upsets me straight.
Anytime.
Yep.
And he returns to what he was doing. From there, we will transition to Grei and Matthew. What are you guys doing this evening?
As I get up, I will give Matt a call. See if he answers.
It'll ring a couple of times, and he will pick it up.
Matt, what are you doing tonight?
you'll hear like kind of weird mechanical clicking in the background if you listen careful enough. Oh, nothing, just screwing around. What's up?
Are you recording this?
No, practice.
Practice. What? Oh, don't tell me. Not till we're in person. So I was thinking we could go down, see this art gallery. Fairly well-renowned artist. Her name's Beara. I showed you the paper. Remember?
Oh, yes.
I need to find whoever made that painting. And I think it might also be tied to Mr. Adams. Oh, 2 birds, 1 stone. And a proposition. There's always a proposition.
Give me 10 and I'll meet you at the Ascent.
Sounds good. Can we meet outside? I don't necessarily want Nick to rain on my parade this evening just yet.
Fair enough. Yep, see you there.
I'll hang up and head to the Ascent. I'm not headed up to the apartment. I'm going to wait outside.
Okay.
When Matt gets there, the normal, vest, tie, button-up shirt, you might have to have double took because that is not what he's in. He is in head to toe black, straight black kind of running shoes, black pants, black Henley, a little form fitting on him, and he's kind of just adjusting himself, and he's got a smile on his face.
You look like someone getting ready to go to work.
I love this job.
So I was thinking, if you haven't had anything to eat yet, we could make a stop on the way there. Maybe a little bit of poaching on someone else's turf.
Whose?
I'm not sure yet. I've not met any of them, but I do believe that we head down first. We're going to be crossing through someone else's territory. And I mean, what's better than someone else's hunt?
Wow, Mr. Grei, are you asking me to commit a felony? Yes, I mean
multiple of them. Excellent. You want to drive? Should I drive? I call a cab for us. Who is it? Hold on. It's Bats. Right. It's not Uber. They don't like being called that, and they also hate being called Lyft, apparently.
Yeah, I've seen them. Interesting. Absolutely, let's do that.
There, I will call us a cab to take us from Ascent down to the gallery with a quick stopover near the Green Bench Brewing Company.
Okay.
Just for a little hunt.
Sure thing. When you pull up at the brewing company, how do you wish to approach this?
Kind of take a look. Make sure that there's no immediate eyes on us. And then I'm going to go find someone who's out and about and having a good time this evening. And use a little bit of awe to get their attention. Split them off from the pack and just take a quick bite.
And Matt will point out to Grei that while we're out, when we're outside of, where we normally go, call him Adam.
Will do, Adam.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me if they work there. It doesn't matter to me if they are pedestrians walking the area. The idea is that, if they're in the tasting room, the idea is that I'm hunting where I shouldn't be. It's the risk.
So I guess what are you trying to obfuscate what you are doing here in this place, like in case somebody could be present that would spot you, or are you like outside of like your normal means of trying to obscure what you do, or are you?
No, just making sure that this falls completely within the masquerade. Not trying to hide who I am or what I'm doing. Besides, there's no hiding my face.
Very fair then. Go ahead and give me your hunting roll. Okay.
7 successes.
You find someone having probably had a little bit to drink. Young man in their probably mid-20s, kind of off by themselves. Looks like they kind of got separated from their group. Their friends went on home or whatever, waiting on a lift or whatever they might. They look like they're in pretty decent shape, probably in school, still just having a good time out. Immediately drawn to you.
I will sit and make some small talk with him. Introduce myself. Get comfortable. And then make the suggestion that maybe we should take this somewhere a little more quiet.
Yeah, sure. Name's John.
John, my name's Grei, and I would love to introduce you to my friend Adam.
You have a friend with you?
I do. He's a bit shy like you are. But if your shell can crack, I'm sure you can crack his.
Alright, yeah. Let's meet your friend.
I will go find Matt. Kind of pick him out of the crowd and make sure that we are off in a shadowed area that's not necessarily going to be noticed by any kind. Matt. His middle name's Adam.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Meet my friend.
And Matt will turn around. Oh. Quite the Adonis you found, Grei.
I know, right?
Adam. Right.
And as Matt is talking to him, I'll step up behind him and give him a bite on the neck.
Okay. How much are you taking?
Oh, I don't even really need anything, so just a taste. Just a taste. Just to say that I did it.
Okay. You take a bite. He kind of tenses for a moment and then kind of relaxes, almost seeming to get a little bit more intoxicated in the moment. Hey.
That's just a preview.
Okay. Shit. What are we doing?
We'll sit and
You
chat
are
for him.
beautiful.
Thank you. I don't hear that often. Amazing.
Sorry, what are we doing again?
Well, let's talk for a little bit. I will chat him up some more for about a half hour or so before leaving him with my number and hopefully a taste for more.
Yes, absolutely. He is not remotely aware it just happened, but he is very, he's infatuated. I will give you... Jonathan Phillips is his name. You get his phone number. He's absolutely just hanging on, very much hanging on to Grei. But he was also, there was a little bit of focus on Adam, specifically when you were biting him. Okay.
We've got a bit of business to attend to. Unfortunately, I'll check my phone as if I had just gotten a text. But if you're willing to hook up later, definitely see this through tonight.
Just give me a call.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll see you later, Grei.
Give him a quick kiss on the cheek. Adam, we're meant to go.
Oh, so soon?
Unfortunately.
Sad. I do like to watch you work.
Payoff will be later, honey.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Okay.
We're going to catch the cab again, back, and this time to the art gallery.
You make your way to the art gallery. Find a split. You get dropped off nearby. Make your way over to the building itself. It's not a excessively large building. You can get in and find what it is you're trying to get to well enough. What is your intent while you're here? What are you trying to do?
I'm hoping that they're open. So I'd like to talk to someone about the art piece that they had on display and hopefully still do or could share some information about.
Yeah, they are still open, but it's kind of at the point where things are dying down, coming to a close. Give me you can give me wits and awareness.
And while we're looking, Matt is like actively clocking cameras, security. He is casing this place.
You can also give me a wits and awareness. Two successes?
Yep.
Okay. Easy enough. You find that there are people, like patrons, kind of moving about, kind of getting ushered and moved toward the exit as they're getting ready to kind of start closing things down. But you do find a couple of employees. Before you approach one, what did you get on your roll, Matthew?
4.
4. And this is specifically like casing, checking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that in a few moments. Grei. You find an attendant, hostess rather, kind of the tour guide, woman wearing the like little vest and uniform. Well, hello. How can I help you today?
I see that you're closing up and you're trying to get people out of here, but I really had just a few questions that, if you don't mind me asking. There was a piece that was featured in the Tampa Bay Times. It was called Portrait of a Prince. I'm really very interested in that one, and the artist in general. Is there any way I could maybe have a look at it, but potentially even buy it off of you? And maybe get some follow-up information on the artist. I'd love to get her to commission some works from her.
Would you say you're being sincere, or is there some alternate intent?
I would say in this moment he's being sincere. He hasn't actually decided to push the envelope yet.
Sure. Give me charisma and persuasion.
Matt's just here for the ride.
For the cover.
Okay. Unfortunately, you're not the first person to come speak on that painting. Somebody came by some time ago to verify the authenticity of the painting. A few days later, that painting has been stolen. I'm afraid it is no longer here. Yeah. The person who painted it, their name is Sylvia Delano. She is a graduate at Tampa Bay University. That's the information that I have. After the painting was stolen, we reached out. She didn't want to press anything, so we did a slight investigation. Nothing came of it, and we just kind of moved on. We had to display other things.
assuming it was insured.
Mhm.
Is there any way I could perhaps get her number, or some way to contact her? As I said, I absolutely fell in love with the work when I saw it, and I would love to commission some works from her. Also kind of curious if it was perhaps an associate of mine who may have come in asking about the painting before me, Viktor Adams.
I have. You know Victor Adams?
We do run in the same circles, yes.
I see. Victor Adams has been here, but it wasn't for that painting.
Oh. Well, if it's not too much trouble, could you maybe give me some insight into what he was looking at? Trying to make a good impression.
You have moved on to another subject, so I'm going to need another roll.
At this point, he is definitely trying to be deceptive. Eight successes.
8 successes, okay. He wasn't here for a particular piece. He had a young man with him. He was kind of showing him around. He gave the owner of the building a pretty heavy donation, and they allowed him to. They kept a few of us on staff for about an hour after close, while he and this person kind of walked around. They were very quiet, kept to themselves. They didn't come to us for anything. They didn't take anything. It was almost like he was giving his own tour, but he was, I don't know, something about the way those two were interacting with each other. It was very
scandalous.
Not scandalous. I didn't want to say anything because our boss was the owner of the building was very friendly toward them, but the way he was hanging on that young man was very, it didn't look great. It looked a little creepy. It was kind of creepy.
Well, I definitely see if I can look out for this young man in the future if I run into Viktor again. Apologize if that impression was any sort of what was left behind. Viktor's honestly very, very good with people. Sometimes, though, he's a little intense.
It came across that way. He was very charming when we spoke, but it was, I don't know, just the way he was kind of just always hovering by that guy's ear. It was just, there was like no space, personal space. I don't know what the dynamic of their whole thing was, but it didn't sit right.
You wouldn't happen to know if he had left a phone number that he could be reached at?
If he did, it was probably left with the owner. And we aren't really allowed to give out contact details of donators or things along that line. But if you were wanting to, I know you asked about the artist contact, I can reach out to them, and if they decide they want to reach out to you, if you want to leave me something, number to give them, they can reach out to you if they like.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In fact, do you have something for me to write it down on? Or?
Certainly. As she reaches into this little bag, pulls out a little notebook and a pen, hands it to you.
I will write down my number, and as I hand it back to her, I will use compel. Get me Viktor Adams' phone number.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. And she turns around and walks away from you.
And then walk over to Matt. Well, things are working out. Somewhat.
Going good?
We'll see. Hopefully, we can get out of here without too much of a hitch. What about you? See anything you like?
I mean, they're impressive. You can definitely see something in these. Art's all about interpretation. I might need to talk to someone.
Don't know if it's your particular cup of tea.
I mean, it's not cubism, which is good.
Something against cubism.
We ain't got time to get into it on that one, Grei.
Well, that then will have to be a discussion for later in the evening.
Matthew, with your 4 successes, this place is... The security isn't the best you've seen, but it's not terrible. They do have cameras covering most of the gallery floor. You do see there are quite a few people on employ, and it is like I will say, you probably can guess that is due to a theft that happened recently. This looks a little elevated for the size of the space that you're in, for the space that it is. But nothing too dramatic. If you really, if you put some work into it, you could feasibly get something here still. It would be difficult given the high security, but otherwise not impossible. After a moment, the tour guide comes back down. Hey, yeah, I got that for you.
I will turn around with a huge smile. Thank you very much. You've been incredibly helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I'm here for. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, we'll get out of your hair for the evening, but please do pass on my contact information to Miss Delano.
I will take care of that immediately.
Thank you.
All right. You two have a wonderful evening. And please come back sometime.
Absolutely. We will return.
Very good. And she turns and kind of continues getting ready for close as you guys are kind of with everyone else ushered toward the exit.
Gonna take a look at the piece of paper she gave me. Make sure it's got the number on there.
You'd say it looks like she went and copied it down on a little piece of paper again, but it says Viktor Adams. It's got a little phone number.
Well, that fishing expedition went better than I thought. Anything you want to hang around for?
No, I'm good.
All right. Then I will call a cab for us again. And as we're waiting, do we actually want to go back to the apartment and talk to the others, or should we just go out to Denoche?
The night is young. I mean, we'll get back there eventually, but
I can send Bella a message. Nick won't be interested at all.
yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Or did you want to pretty up before we go see Carmen?
yeah, I suppose she'll think I'm slumming it if I look like this.
And might take offense.
Yeah, gotta look good for family.
Which means I'm going to have to put up with Nick for a while. Big smiles.
At least you got something. At least you got a snack beforehand. That'll tide you over, you know.
Yeah, I won't.
We don't have to, but just breathe.
I won't prod him near as much as usual. I've gotten the monkey off my back for the evening.
Fantastic.
So we are going to head back to the Ascent. And on the way there, I am going to text Bella to let her know that that's where we're headed. We're going to meet up there before heading out to Denoche.
About the time you are heading toward your destination, you get a text from Carmen. Something's come up. Can't meet tonight. But Irina will be willing to meet you. It has a little bit of information. Go to Memento Vivere in the neutral zone. That's it.
I will pass on that message. Looks like clubbing's out. How do you feel about tea?
Was that to everybody?
Yes.
You'll get a text back immediately. I love to eat.
And you'll get one from Nick. It's better than Denoche.
Different, not better. Text back.
Better.
And-
Reply.
And then Matt will Matt's still next to him at the moment. We're not in the thing, but Matt will just be like, "I miss you, Sophia. Great tea parties."
Who's Sophia?
Duchess of Edinburgh. What?
Duchess of Edinburgh. What's the story there?
Oh, Grei. Really good bank account and fantastic parties.
Well, don't leave me hanging. Do kiss and tell.
Well, she thinks that there are after-school programs being funded somewhere in Siberia.
And how much is she donating to these Siberian after-school programs?
Well, it was a very nice six-figure number. I'll just put it that way.
Impressive.
That's how good I can be sometimes. Siberia, Grei.
So, as you guys are are you guys grouping up together before heading to meet Irina, or are you guys going to meet up at Irina's?
We're going to meet up at the Ascent. And then head over to Memento Beara.
Okay. I'll go ahead and have you guys regroup at the scene.
I will not knock. And just open the door expecting it to be unlocked. Honey, I'm home.
Nick's still on the balcony. Just... Oh, hey, Grei.
I'm not sure how she's going to like cigars, but try your luck.
I'll just stick to the cigarettes. Cigars are like a whole thing, like hour long most of the time, and So tea.
Hey, I think you're going to like her, honestly. If you
With who?
met Irina.
Oh, I know Irina.
You
Met
do?
her at the youth
Good.
party. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. She's an excellent
awesome.
conversationalist.
No, you're quite right on that. I actually don't mind her, unlike Carmen.
What problem do you have with Carmen?
I do not have time to make that list.
Many people in so little time this evening.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Adam's on his way up. Oh,
Adam?
Matt.
Ah,
He's Adam when he's working. I learned this tonight.
And he will pop in. No, just when we're in unfamiliar territory.
Working, unfamiliar territory, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, it also depends. New York, Adam, Boston. We won't talk about.
There's a story about Boston.
And in Ireland, Michael McBride.
How many aliases do you have?
I'm asking the Karn artist that.
Pick a country.
Great. I have to ask, have you ever seen a show called Leverage?
No, but I know how to get leverage, if that's what you want.
No. Matt, have you ever seen a show called Leverage?
It has some quirks to it, but I'm not mad about it. I love how they're dynamic.
Yeah. As I say, you're Sophia Devereaux.
At this point, Bella will pop in wearing a lacy, colorful tea dress. We're going to tea, right?
We're going to Memento Beara, and there may be tea.
I have my special stuff.
Have you met Irina?
Maybe.
You're not sure.
I think she was there with the prince when I first met the prince.
She's kind of unforgettable.
Definitely hard to forget.
Well, let's see if I remember this time.
I suppose everyone should be on their best behavior. But, before we go, I think I might just have a phone number for Mr. Adams.
You can do a lot with that.
You can. You can call someone and talk to them and get them to invite you places.
Yeah, that's one thing.
We're not going to sign him up for all sorts of "can I talk to you about your car's extended warranty" scams.
As funny as that would be, not what I was referring to, but it's fine, Greg. Your tech ignorance is charming. Anyway, let's go to tea.
Look, you put the key in the car goes, right? You open the laptop works, right? You type on the thing and do what it says to do, and what else is there to know?
Oh, honey. You sweet thing.
I don't have to know anything special to operate a phone.
Let's get my move on. And I will point out, Nick that's his tone. It's like he's upbeat. He is smiling around Grei.
We're taking the bets. They've been good to us this evening.
Yeah, if you want.
Unless you want Alex to chauffeur.
Alex, do you mind?
If you need me to take somewhere, I can.
It gives us some backup if we need it. Not that I think we will, but it is the neutral zone. So I'm going to go with Alex.
Backup for Rita.
It's the neutral zone.
What about it? The Anarchs are just going to come down here and try to stomp on us.
Yeah, but we have been dealing with quite a few killers as of late. So, I mean, it's up to you. You want to take bets? That's fine. I'm going with Alex.
We got rid of the killer.
One.
2, technically. Right?
No, that was the one that got rid of the second one.
Well, 1 got rid of the other for us.
Anyway, better be prepared than not.
Isn't that the case for all of them, though? Didn't another killer get rid of the other killer for us?
Bye, Grei. And Nick walks out the door with Alex.
So bats?
Bats. Speaking of killers, some point, Bella, I need to talk to you about Al when you have a chance.
Okay.
Not now, but soon. And I will head out following the direction that Nick went.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting conversation.
Matt will have changed at this point, normal suit, outfit, has the hat on, and he looks at Grei as he kind of adjusts it. Good job on the not prodding.
I can't help it. He's just so easy. Although he's right. I don't know a goddamn thing about computers.
You all begin making your way to the neutral zone. As you are approaching the building, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have a meeting with Irina. Thank you all for joining us so far, and we will see you very soon.
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaborations with our partnered vendors: Wolfpack Dice, Ember Fox Dice, Dragon Ink Dice, Beara the Bard, Champs Tramps, Pantry Artista, Chromatic Creations. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stbynight.com. The official theme song for St. Petersburg by Night is Vampire by Faith and Failure. You can find them at faithandfailure.com. You can follow St. P by Night on all socials with the hashtag St. P by Night. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at ko-fi.com/St. P by Night to help keep the stories rolling.
Thank you all for waiting patiently. We are back, and where the players left off, they were heading to the neutral zone so they could have their meeting with Irina. As they arrive at their destination, Irina, the building itself, how tall? How many stories would you say this is?
It's only one story, but it's very high ceilinged, so it could look almost two-story, but not quite.
Approach a very tall building with a entrance at the front. As you guys step out, you go into an area that kind of has the appearance of a... you enter a cigar lounge that kind of has the appearance of like a professor from 70s, kind of very vintage aesthetic as you enter. There's a bar, several tables set up. There's a stage, and if you don't mind introducing yourself, the scene will be yours as you guys enter. Please go ahead.
Hello, I'm Noree, and I'm playing Bella, the mischievous Markavian.
Hi, I'm Kyrie. I'm playing Grei Novak, the Toreador with big ambitions.
Hello, I'm Lekar, and I am playing Matthew, the well-dressed ne'er-do-well Toreador.
Hello, I'm Truckexe, and I'm playing Nicholas Baldridge, a better Toreador than Grei.
I'm Lisha, and I'll be playing Irina Russo, the Herald of St. Pete.
So, who has been here before?
This doesn't look like a tea place.
I'm
It is
pretty,
Already at the cigar.
I'm pretty sure if Nick has been here, we'd have never seen him again.
Nick's already at the cigar, buying a cigar.
There is tea, I assure you, Bella. You just have to ask for it.
Yeah, but I'm not dressed right.
How should you be dressed?
This one calls for more silk than lace. Maybe a bit of shine. Well, my boots are shiny though, so I guess that counts.
You'll fit in, regardless. Trust me.
No, that's worse.
Trusting me?
No, fitting in.
Oh, okay.
Unless I want to. I don't want to right now.
And you're doing a fantastic job of it. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
And Nick would have walked back with a cigar at that point. Okay, this place ain't bad.
Irina would come strolling out through the door to her craft workshop. Oh, I see you all have arrived. Wonderful. It's good to see you again.
A very
the
deep
place.
bow.
Okay. Did I hear someone asking about tea?
Oh, yes, me. Hello, I'm Bellatrix. I don't think we've met.
I am Irina.
It's nice to meet you, Harold. She'll curtsy again. So, yes, I run a tea shop. Well, a tea and tarot shop, technically. So I'm always interested in tea. I love tea.
What would you prefer?
I'd like to see what you have available.
And she'll walk over to the bar and go behind it and open up one of the humidors that's kind of off to the side. And inside is a small box with different tins of tea. And she'll set it out so you can look at it.
She'll start inspecting and smelling it as well. Ooh, I like that one.
That is a very fine Beara. I will brew it for you. And she sets about doing so. So what brings you all here?
Grei said we should meet you. You're very pretty, by the way.
Thank you. It was by design.
Oh, definitely say I definitely appreciate this atmosphere much more than the Noche.
That is why I made it. The Noche is fun, but this is where I would prefer to spend time.
No, it's actually, Rena. Also, good to see you again. It's been a bit since Heal Party, right?
Yes. A few months.
Actually, go ahead, Harold. Sorry.
No, it is fine.
Yeah, I'm looking to get into a cigar business down south myself. So, I mean, we could see what comes of that if I can pull that off. So, if you're welcome.
I don't know if I want competition, but perhaps
Please, no.
friendly partnership.
Oh, this is down in Camarilla territory. Like there'd be there's miles between us.
Although there is nothing wrong with the partnership. Across those miles, I mean, how far is the distance? Arena, Harold, it is good to see.
There is no need for that here. Here I am, Irina.
I appreciate the fact that you don't stand on pomp and circumstance.
It is all rather new to me anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, like she's got a fantastic atmosphere around here. Like the aesthetic is like screams like wizened and positive wizened, like wise, not wizened like old. But yeah, it's also humble, enjoyable, comfortable. I mean, like as I said, 10 out of 10.
Irina's got a fantastic, a remarkable everything. Business is good too.
Thank you.
I'll say that these were not in Texas, and that's one of the things I enjoy about down here.
I have never been to Texas. But,
Don't go. Do not go.
I have heard that about it. Bella, here is your tea.
Oh, thank you. She'll take and she'll inhale deeply.
Would anyone else like anything before we begin?
If you don't mind me needing to waste it, I wouldn't mind a dram of whiskey, because I can't exactly drink it.
No, that is up to you. And she'll pour you a dram and pass it over.
Thank you. And he'll take a second glass to, after enjoying it in the mouth, spit it out in.
Anything that is enjoyed is not wasted.
Thank you very much.
Shall we sit then?
Yes, absolutely. And I already had my fill for the evening, so I have to watch my figure.
As have I.
Well, I don't mind watching your figures.
Oh. If you want a private show, I could always arrange one for you.
Oh, speaking of which, the studio's open, so I'll definitely have to get you in for a painting.
And definitely, you still have not come and tried to copy any of my work yet.
I will have to get on that.
Mm-hmm.
Grei will wait for Irina to have a seat before he does.
She'll seat herself in one of the armchairs. And you would notice that she sits with almost effortless grace. And you would probably know that she also does ballet. And you can definitely see, just the dancer's movements and the way that she holds herself and moves.
Grei will have a seat. Not near as graceful. Graceful nonetheless.
So, is this truly just a social call?
I would love nothing more than for this to be just a social call.
But nothing is these days.
Well, nothing recently has been. And, honestly, since I'm taking up your time with something that's not a social call, I'm going to owe you a social call after this.
Definitely. I will hold you to it.
I did, however, want you to meet all of us together. We have been doing some work for Edwin.
Good. Good. What type of work?
Well, troubleshooting, really. Specifically, he's asked us to follow up on one of our family who appears to, well, be putting together a few soirees that don't necessarily have the right people on the invite list.
Hmm. And who would that be?
His name is Viktor Adams. And from what I understand, he's kind of snubbed Carmine.
I cannot think of anyone that he has not snubbed.
Worried he had done the same to you.
Yes. Well, I have unfortunately made his acquaintance.
You have.
Briefly.
And it's unfortunate. That tracks with what I've heard about him.
Now we have to destroy him on principle alone.
Well, that is debatable. His art is quite good, unfortunately.
Well, we don't mean necessarily destroy physically, but socially, of course.
Or just a little payback.
Of what sort?
A visit to one of his parties. Perhaps crashed by my two companions here. He will gesture to Nick and Bella. Would be quite the talk of the town when they're done.
I'm sure it would. And would keep him distracted, perhaps so Matthew can play his trade, no?
Oh, absolutely. I work best when I'm not the center of attention.
I work best when I am.
Same. We have so much in common. But you've met him, and we're looking to get an introduction to him. I figure I can hopefully talk him into at least giving us a look at his works. Perhaps an invite at the very most.
Well, I could set that up. He is not the most pleasant to interact with, but I am the Herald. It would be very bad form to turn down an invitation from me.
Disastrous, one would say.
Yes.
And it's all right. Nick isn't one of the best people to interact with either, but I'm sure if they have similar personalities, they'll hit it right off.
Well, it is not just the personality, it is...
I'm just surprised you didn't understand the word troubleshooting, Grei.
He has a child, correct? Or someone he's very close to?
That I am unaware of. But he has a tendency to look down on other artists.
Well, last time you saw him, did he have a young woman that he was kind of shepherding?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
But again, we have only met briefly. This is how unpleasant he is that I took note of it in such short a time.
Well, from what I saw, you don't want his attention. Apparently, his intention is Do you understand
Negative.
the term? Do you understand the term grooming, Irina? And all its connotations?
Like fixing your hair and
No, grooming a person, and not in the so much. Well, in his case, kind of the aesthetics, but basically, it looks like if you get his attention, you become his little play doll to manage, control, and apparently just stalk and walk around with. You know, his little puppet and toy to play with, in the way that you present yourself, to a disturbing degree. Apparently, I would say almost that's his real art. It's been his mind.
some of you might notice Irina tensing at this.
Yeah, that's a form of grooming, and it is as disturbing as it sounds. It's kind of an abuse. It's kind of it's not a good dynamic. You see it a lot of older men and young women that are being taken advantage of.
Yes, I am very familiar with this concept.
So it was just a vernacular misunderstanding. Okay.
Yes, apologies. English is my third language.
No, it's no problem. I'm just wanted to see if you knew what it meant.
I do now.
You said that he looks down on other artists. Does he have talent to be looking down on other artists?
He has talent, but a true artist does not... how to put this? Throw shit at every other artist around them.
The picture you are painting of this man is starting to fill in some gaps.
Yes, he had some comments about my own work and that of Carmen as well.
Nick would turn to
Really?
Matt. Go ahead.
Unfortunate.
Nick would turn to Matt. Matt, didn't a lot of classical painters, in kind of a way that modern rap artists used to do much the same, with other contemporaries of their time, even make pieces to insult rivals? Or am I misremembering that?
No, and it wasn't just artists. There was, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but there was this guy who really didn't like this one talent, so deliberately sold tickets to bald men in the audience so that when the lights hit, it spelled out different words.
Different inappropriate words.
Yeah, inappropriate words, things like that. But there were artists who deliberately made counterpieces in not so much protest, but the
Mocking.
metaphorical middle finger. Yes, the mockery of it.
Yeah. I'm not as, I appreciate art, but I'm not as familiar with it all as you all are.
Making art.
Yeah.
And making art with that purpose is one thing. That takes talent, at least. He is merely speaking down on it.
I'm not a fan of Picasso. I just don't like his style, but I'm not going to disrespect the man.
Well, he was very syphilitic in the end. A bit handsy, but
Well, they say that there is one way to elevate yourself, and that is to pull everyone else around you down. Fortunately, it seems like what's happening here.
a rising tide lifts all boats. That is the way I prefer.
But, a rising tide can also sink
true. This is the subject of some of my favorite paintings.
Well, you gotta love nuance.
I wouldn't expect you to do this for us, just on a whim. And I would expect that there's something you need. Is there something we can do for you in exchange? Setting up this meet with Mr. Adams.
I want to meet the models.
His models.
His models. Without him knowing.
I think we can make that happen.
Have you seen any of his work?
I have not. You wouldn't happen to have some samples?
Samples, no. They are rather dark in subject matter.
Dark how?
Photographs of violence, of abuse, of the aftermath. If it was a video, well, some of the photographs would be frames from snuff films. I would like to know if the models are doing this willingly.
That is dark, indeed.
Now, in our world, willing is a
Relative term.
Unfortunately.
And if they are willing, relativity aside, there are some cases where one would be willing to subject themselves to behavior like that.
I have things to pay forward.
You know, crashing this asshole's party is sounding more and more of a good idea.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling in for it.
I would say that his art, while potentially monstrous, it does point out the darkness of this world. The art in itself has merit. But it is different to portray the darkness and to perpetuate it.
Being evocative is one thing. Making the darkness real is another.
Personally, I've always been a bit attracted to the surreal and macabre. So I would like to see his work.
It is beautiful. It is well done. But it is also difficult to look at. But that is the point of some art.
Show other people what they can feel. Sometimes revulsion is a powerful experience.
Sometimes the grotesque can be beautiful.
Sometimes without the darkness, it's harder to see the light. Harder to appreciate it when you do see it.
If we're going in the direction of paraphrasing Bob Ross, I don't think death makes for valuable art.
I would beg to differ.
Not when the art to be made costs that death.
Models are difficult to come by. You don't go through them easily. And in our case, they can take quite a bit more than the average kind could.
What if I told you my art had caused death before?
I'd like to know the story.
That sounds
And my
interesting.
view stays the same.
Well, it did not cause the death of another.
Then
It caused your own death.
that value is worth what you place on it, as you are the direct contributor.
If only I still had it. It is in the Louvre with Prince Vion of Kyrie.
I looked to Matt at that.
That one's tricky. Way too good. Even with 5 people, and well, I didn't have the skill set I did now, so not impossible.
I would not want you to risk yourself simply for my painting.
I think for Matt, it's a matter of principle.
It's the matter of just something I would love to do.
It's the challenge.
Exactly.
He's our resident Lupin.
Curious, Irina, do you know how long Victor's been here? In St. Petersburg?
Roughly 2 months.
If I remember correctly, 2 months or so.
Interesting. I thought there might be some sort of coincidental thing, but the timelines don't match up.
Like with Truckexe, I mean, that would line up with our dearly departed.
Barely departed.
Another thing that Edwin had us look into. A troubled individual who, well, I suppose their art was death as well, but they didn't stage it. They just performed it.
That is obsession, not art.
Is there a line between the two?
There needs to be.
Sometimes there is not. Sometimes you become the art. But that is not always a good thing.
Putting it mildly. Look, there has to be lines that are drawn, or else we lose what's left of us.
And who is to draw those lines? Each for themselves, yes?
Yeah.
No one better to do it than yourself.
It is when others draw those lines for you.
But then we
That is
get to the point where the lines one draws intersect with the one another draws. and that is not them claiming that their lines supersede your own, but where does the line of respect and belief fall into?
And
Respect your elders.
Yeah. Sure.
Some of them. Some of them, no.
Irina,
Mhm.
you will receive a text from Edwin asking for if you, at your earliest convenience, would be able to make your way to Elysium. He would like your opinion on some of the decor before the next event.
well, that is Edwin now. I must go help with decorations. So perhaps next time we can have a fully social call and set aside a good time for speaking. I have quite enjoyed my time with you, but I do have business to attend to.
I owe you that in the very least.
It was
It will be
nice
soon.
meeting you.
It was nice meeting you as well. I hope you enjoyed your tea.
I did, and I want to discuss later, possibly finding out who's your supplier.
Perhaps. All of you are welcome to stay and enjoy until we arrive. But I must be off.
As Irina breaks away from the group and leaves the establishment, we will go to a break. Thank you very much, Alicia, for playing with us this evening, and we will see you all when we get back.
I'm looking over the pictures.
You can give me a wits and insight.
Can I make an argument for performance? Having been a subject like this?
I'll allow it.
While he's doing that, Beara, would this touch on leave the world better than you found it? Or not? Can't quite. Sure, I'm not sure.
Does he have like his own studio, or does he do pop-up studios?
He seems to do pop-up studios. He doesn't have a concrete place that he operates in. He just kind of pops up in cities over the United States, places in Europe. This seems to be the most recent place he's hit up.
Does he have a place in the city, or does he move around the city too?
Hard to say. Irina didn't have that information,
Okay.
but you do know that he seems to be throwing these parties and stuff like that. People aren't invited to. He might just be hopping around. If he does have a place, it's not public knowledge.
Okay.
I'm actually going to take it. It's a messy critical, but I'll take it.
Okay, I will resolve that in just a moment. I'm sorry, Nick, what was your question again?
I'm trying to figure out if seeing these and what they represent would touch on his second conviction. Leave
Yes.
the world better than he found. Alright, so I gotta figure out how.
No, I'm sorry, sorry, that was a recognition of your question. My apologies.
Oh,
Well, do you find the simulation of violence to be as problematic as the actual violence?
let me ask you a question. How young are these individuals?
They look like young adults. Probably maybe 25 is the oldest you've seen.
Okay, so still a decent age above Travis.
University age, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say it gets close, but it's not making him see Travis in this situation.
I mean, there are a couple images that are questionable as to whether or not they have quite hit 18 or anything on that line, but again,
yeah,
simulation versus actual, and if you are unaware, if you don't know if it's anything more than a simulation, do you think that you would be as upset by that event as you would be if it were
he's
not?
Definitely upset, but I wouldn't say he's fury frenzy upset.
Then I will say at the moment, having no more evidence than you currently have, obviously there would be some concern, but I don't think it's going to hit your conviction.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to figure that out, and I couldn't, so I wanted a second opinion.
You're good. Did you say messy crit?
Yep.
What was the total?
6.
6. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let me double check one more thing. Alright. As you are looking at these images, these are, you don't know a whole lot about the more digital side of the editing and things on that line, but there is something about these photos as you're looking at them very familiar. You are, I'll say with a messy crit of that total, you're pretty confident that these are not as staged as he tries to let people believe.
And the result of the messy critical.
Your clan compulsion activates.
Okay.
Okay. Almost forgot we hadn't technically started yet. I was wondering, it's like, did we? Or did we not? Did you mean to?
Were we recording?
Welcome back, everybody. My apologies. I apparently forgot to hit the record button. Quick recap. The Coterie has been going over the art that Viktor Adams has displayed on their website. Grei got a messy critical trying to assess whether or not these were staged or real. Came to the conclusion that you do believe that these are true images of abuse and violence that are masked to appear staged for a public stage. That's pretty much where we are. Please continue.
Is Grei openly reacting in any way?
It's just silent.
On his website, are they like available for purchase, or is there any contact information?
You see that there is a place where you can email, kind of like contact. There's no phone number, and it doesn't say it's like a personal email. It's like a...
Is it a join their mailing list, a newsletter sort of thing?
Kind of. You can reach out to contact for situations like, hey, if you want us to come to your city, blah, blah, blah. Or, like, here's a place for general correspondence if you want to. Basically, it's like if you want to get a hold of the team that manages my website, and maybe we'll open up a dialogue kind of thing.
Okay. Is there a mailing list that he has available?
Yeah, there's a mailing list. It's kind of like, hey, get updates. We might be coming to your city, blah, blah, blah. Or let you know when we update the website.
Point that out to Nick. Can you, with your tech magic, like Huju Juju, and like figure out who's subscribed to this mailing list, so we can get who follows him? Because maybe we can get in and get more information that way.
Nick would lean back, thinking for a second. Clearly very disturbed by this and angry by all he's seen. I mean, I might need the admin privileges. I mean, I can see, but I'm not entirely sure. I might be able, if I can get into the automatic mailer, maybe. But that's a little bit of guesswork. I can try.
Question, Beara. Are these images any worse than what I saw when I was 10 years old?
I guess it depends on your definition of worse.
I'm going to say I'm not that disturbed by them, though I do want to find the models too at this point.
That's fair. They are disturbing. Whether or not they are staged, they are very clearly brought to the utmost extreme for artistic effect. So I would say if they're not worse, they're right up there along with it.
Okay.
Some of them, yeah.
All right. Then yeah, she's disturbed by them as well. She at least wants to get to the models, if not do harm to him.
And then I guess Nick will try to break into using the automatic mailer to see if he can get admin privileges for the website.
Okay. I'm gonna have you potentially make 2 rolls here.
Okay.
First is to kind of evaluate the website a bit. Go ahead and give me intelligence and tech.
I'll take it. That's 6 successes with a critical. Muted.
God damn. Okay. As you are checking out the website, you can tell that there is a decent level of security. It looks like they probably utilize a third party in some fashion in order to make it less likely that somebody can make a breach. It's not impossible, but it would be difficult, and you do find with 6, it is possible that if you fuck up, it could put a flag on you in some way.
I could lean back. lot harder than what we've done so far. Like with the police, with the coroner's office, we had a hardwired back door that we were able to do. This is wireless and timely, and like if I screw this up, he'll probably know.
Okay,
and on top of that, we might be targeted.
Okay, so maybe don't do it here.
I was going to say, don't do it here.
Okay, I mean, the only other way to do it then would be to find the server it's hosted on, which could be anywhere in the world.
I just meant don't do it at this location.
Right, like,
It's-
can't you go to like an internet cafe?
It's not exactly how it works. It's definitely a better idea, but say we fail at the internet cafe. There are cameras at the cafe, for example. Like, we'd have to take care of the cafe camera. It can be
Easy.
tricked. Okay, then we can look into doing that, and I can try my magic there. It's just risky, is all I'm saying. I mean, I've got no problem going after this fucker. Just, no sense dragging all of you into it if I screw up.
Okay.
Nick would, although I will say, Nick would blink for a second. It's great. Oh, there you are. You okay over there? You haven't said a word. Which is unusual for you.
Are they meant to be moving?
Pictures?
You don't see that, do you?
Nick's
No.
going to use share the senses on Grei. He wants to know what he's seeing and feeling.
Go ahead and roll for me. You need 3 successes.
I'm also going to blood surge this if you allow. I get very hungry in a second.
It's 2 rouse checks, right?
Yep, okay, doesn't get hungrier on that one. Does not get hungry on that one. I'll take it. Let me go double check that. That is resolve in that space. Okay. You. Sorry, Kyrie. I was like, Nick would notice that he's abnormally quiet. Dang it, sorry, I lost my count here. 6, 3, 4, 7, 2.
And physically stiff.
It's too un-Grei. Especially after last session. That is 7 successes with a crit.
Great. What does Nicholas see?
And feel.
The screen that you have them on, the computer, is pinned to a crucifix that is 7 foot tall. There are screens attached to the crucifix at varying different places, all askew from each other, but every one of the pictures that has been brought up from the website is on each one of those screens, and the subjects are not still lives. They are moving. They are writhing under the torment that has been inflicted on them.
And how's he feeling?
Terrified.
Nick will shake his head for a second, slam the laptop closed, and get up, turning to Grei. Walking over to him, hold out a hand just above his shoulder. me in the eye, please. Can you do that? Please.
Not during a session.
He will make sure not to touch him, but he'll just stay in front of him. Okay. Let's get through that, shall we? I'm right here. And I see you. And that's okay. Alright?
He's not as good as he thinks he is.
And what do you want to do about that, Grei?
No good answer.
That's fine. That's fine. Nick's just staying right in front, making a point not to touch him, but his hands are open and inviting. And he's just looking at Grei. There's none of the anger, none of the annoyance, just looking at him, neutral. A little bit. Like he's going out of his way not to show pity or even sympathy at the moment, just being present in front of him.
Bella's just observing them for now, especially Grei.
Angels don't do this.
Well, guess he's not an angel then, is he?
Well, you.
Out of character. Can I hear that again? That was just a little too low.
Fallen ones do. Toof. I mean, no. Or they shouldn't.
Well. Be Grei right now. That's who you are. That's where you are. You're here. Be Grei. Be yourself. And accept what you want to do and what it's making you feel. Alright? Because that's the only way out. That's the only way to come back to the rise.
He will cut his eyes towards that crucifix again, and from the other side of it, will step around young-looking kindred, very pale, dark hair, with a both at once creepy and disarming smile.
Nick will let one eye adjust with Grei as he's looking, still sharing the senses. What does that individual make? Does that just add to the terror, or does it create a new feeling?
Doesn't add to the terror, but it does Just create a pull. He wants to go towards them, but he wants to flee from them at the same time. Feel it in his movements. As stiff as he is, he kind of wobbles forward and back, not knowing how to take a step.
Nick will register the dysmorphia, the disassociation. Shakes in a little bit. Grei. You need to move on your own. You cannot walk away or towards what you need to. You cannot move on your own. And you can. As frustrating as your will is, it is extremely high when it needs to be towards your own goals. Even if they're created by someone else, whether they were or not, you have the will to move.
Beara, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of this place. And I don't know the way out.
Okay. Give me a composure and resolve.
Three successes. Sorry, -1. 2 successes.
It is difficult to navigate, but you have a moment here where you can continue focusing and clinging to the imagery that is in front of you that seems to kind of move with you down one direction. Or there is a space that almost comes across as an opening that you can walk away from. Try to move away from the scene you're experiencing.
I need out. I need out.
How
So
about we go to a club?
Go to where you feel more in your element, Grei.
I'll step up and take his hand. Come on, let's go clubbing for the rest of the night. It's still early.
Pull the potato.
Okay. I'll call the potato. Immediately getting my phone out and texting Spud.
I will step back from Grei, just not saying anything more. Just and turn back to Matt.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, oh, you don't have to thank me. I didn't do anything.
You did, though. Good work.
Anyway, Matt, we should probably look into places to get this shitbag's information and whatever with this website.
I'll lead Grei out of the apartment and head to, maybe not down
Before-
OJ, but I'll head to Asylum first. Asylum is pretty accepting when you have your moments.
Before Bella and Grei head out, Nickel turn about, hey Bella, I know you will, but make sure he's safe enough.
Yep, I will.
Thank you.
He's mine to look after tonight.
We need a moonwalking bear.
And yet somehow I'm the Malkavian? Where the fuck did that come from?
We need him so focused on something that he doesn't see the rest of it coming.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense. Huh, actually a good analogy. Huh. But you're right. And I'm already done with this motherfucker. Definitely want to get him where it hurts. And then ruin his whole damn party.
He got the guy who antagonizes you the most so screwed up that you mommed him, for lack of a better word.
Well,
He has to go. And I'm not being snarky. Oh, he made you guys bond. No, that fucked up Grei.
yeah. Believe me, I saw what he saw. It was not pretty.
He has to go.
No, yeah. Look, just because I don't like Grei doesn't mean I'm not going to consider him a person. Alright? I'm going to point that out. Doesn't give him a free pass, but I'm not going to consider him a non-person.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like, but man, the shit I saw. I'm gonna have to be real careful not to show any sort of pity. Because that's the worst thing that someone going through that's gonna want to see. Shit. Fuck me. Yeah, this guy needs to go one way or the other. Not to mention what he's doing for his art. And like you can argue the subjectivity of its beauty one way or the other. This shit ain't okay. It's like there's just so many reasons. I'm going to be so happy to light up a cigar in the middle of his party around all his precious artwork and accidentally drop some ash on some of it just to piss him off.
So Bella and Grei are going to Asylum.
On the way there. I can get us in.
If you're mentioning it now, it seems like you don't want to use whatever method you have.
By any means necessary, right?
Yeah. But also, it's not supposed to point back to us. Unless you're planning to burn it down to ashes.
You want-
Figuratively or literally. I'm not sure which.
He wants a subject.
From your reaction from those paintings, I assume it was something personal. And so, in good faith, I'm going to ask, do you really want to put yourself through that? And maybe this isn't the best time to talk about it. Maybe it's time to forget and we talk about it later when you don't have such a haunted look in your eye.
Thou shalt not tolerate the ugly nor the wicked in the sight of the Neville.
Grei,
I can be the distraction. You can burn it down.
okay.
But not tonight.
Let's go forget tonight. There are other worlds we can visit. With the help of our potato.
Anywhere but here. Anywhere but right now.
Let me be your guide then. Let's go.
You guys make your way to Asylum. You meet Spud there. And you'll spend the remainder of the evening forgetting the rest of your night. Where do Matthew and Nicholas go?
I assume they try to find a late night internet cafe. Something.
Okay. And you're going to try to crack into the website's email listing.
Yeah. Nick's going to look at Matt. It's like, now, it's the same problem if I try to, like, the internet cafe is probably going to have its own internal CCTV, if it has any. Well, we should probably check to see if they have any.
Oh yeah, as soon as we get in the door, Matt is going to clock cameras and see what they have.
Yeah.
And see how many people are there.
Because it could be no security, it could be all the security.
Nick, high or low?
Low.
There is a single camera. Looks like it's mostly to cover the counter and register.
Alright. Doesn't seem like it really sees any of the computers as much.
Most of them, but there are a couple of blind spots that you guys can clock pretty well.
Alright. Nick,
Yeah,
smile.
Matt's gonna point to one of the blind spots. He's gonna kind of assess the angle of it.
Fantastic. Let's get this done. And Nick will go to finish what they started with renewed fervor.
Are there
What's the tech?
are there a few people in besides the two of them?
There are like 3-4 people in here. Kind of all giving themselves like plenty of space, doing their own thing.
Yeah, I'm very glad we came here. This is nice. I mean, we don't have things like this back home, but yeah, I mean, it'll work in a pinch. I know the internet you have here is ridiculous. I don't understand.
Nick will just eye Matt for a second. It's just like, yeah, whatever. And I would like to blood surge this.
Sure thing.
Does not get hungrier. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Go for it.
As he's really determined about this now. Not much better. 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah, Matt would probably clock Nick cursing a little bit as he's trying to pull this off, at the very least.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way.
Okay. I'm going to say you are not able to successfully get the mailing list. But with 4 successes, you do get a soft approximation of the location where the last upload might have been from. It looks like it's somewhere in the southern part of Cam territory. Kind of closer to the like along the western beaches, down toward the end.
Alright. And, Nick will, because I'll say he had set up as a precaution a force system restore point right before he started anything. It just wipes that restore point with ease, and just to get rid of any trace of what he had done while he was doing it. If you want me to make another roll for that, I definitely can.
Yes. I need you to beat a 4.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't word that as I meant to. That's what we wanted to do. Yeah, I definitely beat that, and thankfully I have 2 regular crits, so I can ignore that possible messy crit.
As you attempted to, so what was your total?
The total was 6.
Yeah. So as you go to do this, you can tell that there is a slight response for just a moment. Something was moving against you. And then you activated that and prevented any further action from taking place.
Nick will look, oh, thank fuck for precautions. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And where would you two be retiring for the evening?
Nick will have Alex drop Matt off, but he'll relay what he found to Matt, and also the near catastrophe. And this, children, is why you set up precautions and make sure that you wipe as soon as you're done.
Matt will be heading back to the Ascent.
Then Nick's going there as well.
As you guys are settling in, the two of you are partying. Grei and Matthew, you both receive a text. No, I think all of you will receive the text. You'll receive a text from Marina. If you are still if you're still looking to meet with Viktor, I've scheduled a dinner tomorrow evening. Good luck. And that's where it ends.
turn the mat again. It's like, there are so many reasons that I feel like this is a bad idea.
Yeah, and especially after that.
And if we tell Grei that we're in any way worried about him meeting Viktor, that he's gonna go off just to make a point.
Oh, I don't plan on meeting him.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to either, but fucking hell.
Oh no, I don't want to meet him because I don't want him to see me coming. I'm the bear. No, y'all are the bear. I'm the thing that you're the bear. I'm not the bear.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just worried about. I can't tell Grei that we're worried, but I am, at least on my end, and I don't know what he's going to do, just to prove that he's fine. Because I know what that type of trauma does. You don't want to acknowledge it, and from all I can tell, that's exactly what he's doing, and which means that he's going to go out of his way, disastrously, to prove that it's not affecting him, at the very least that he's better than it.
He's going to do what I do. He's going to put a very charming smile on his face, probably while internally screaming. I'm good at it, but I'm pretty sure he's a kind of fucking sore when it comes to things like that.
But like when you're dealing with, after what I saw, he's not going to be as good as he usually is. It's just, I don't see it. But I don't. Of course that fucker had to have something that actually
screwed up the guy who's always, so on the ball. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, you look at Grei, you can't be like, oh, that guy's perfectly mentally healthy. He's also not okay. Like, of course not, but still. No, I can't put that on him. Fucking hell.
Well, that just means we have even more motivation to utterly destroy this man.
Yeah. Although it will be tipped off at least a little bit that someone was doing something, so that distraction's going to be correct.
Actually, that's perfect.
Yeah? No? We just got to make sure he doesn't think it. Well, he's already going to be probably suspicious of any new meetings.
No, I am the bear. Yeah.
I mean, I could just go and say, I hate your guts. Like, straight up to his face. It's like, I think your art's trash. And it has...
That's probably something he hasn't, it's nothing he hasn't heard before, okay? He's probably going to hit you with and who are you?
Better than you.
Yeah, that isn't going to even break his stride.
Possibly.
He's an artist, trust me. He's heard that a million times.
Oh, but it could be like, another nobody. Like, just trash. You never know. It could go the other way.
But yeah, I'm gonna go back to the home front, and I'm going to put some thought into this, and yes, we will ruin his entire career.
Okay. I'm just gonna think for a while. And he's been standing at the doorway to the balcony, so that the wind's picking up the smoke. It's like, I think I'm just gonna stay out here for a while. Fucking great.
And on what better note could there be to end this session? Thank you all very much, and thank you all for playing. Please introduce yourselves. Well, no, you already introduced yourself coming back from the break, so never mind, we're good to go. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you all in the next chapter.
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. Bloody Strings is produced in agreement with the World of Darkness and Darkback. The storyteller for Bloody Strings is Beara. Tonight's characters were voiced by Noree, Kyrie, Lekar, and Truckexe. Visit our website at stpbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.